How should professionals think about staying on top of this? So it's one of those things where it's like you could come in any day now and something that you've done your whole life
Yep.
is now being automated.
Yep.
How should we practically think about our professional, like our careers, when this is a constant thing?
Sure. Well, I think two things come to mind. One, again, 18 months since I think maybe even less than that, since ChatGPT 4 came out, and the prompt engineering that was required to get something meaningful out of the engine was pretty significant. There were whole classes that were spinning up at the University of Nebraska and other universities to just teach prompt engineering. That's changing now too, to where the newer engines, you can basically put in one or two sentences and get a pretty meaningful output from them. And I think for the most part, I would advise people, employees, students, to just get familiar with the technology and be aware of the new capabilities that are coming out. Because, like I said, Grok 3 just dropped this last week. I would expect ChatGPT to probably come out with their ChatGPT 5 probably in the next 12 months at a minimum.
It's an arms race.
Yeah, it's an arms race. Exactly.
And I think, there's still value. Like a lot of people think that it's just going to up and take your job. And I think that like Tony Stark, Jarvis didn't take his job.
No.
It made him better at what he did.
Right.
And I think when, back to your point about awareness, if you know your job very well and you're aware of the tools that are on the market, then you're going to know where those tools fit into your processes,
Exactly.
And when your processes need to change to accommodate the tools, right? So there's still a benefit in you having expertise in your field,
Yes.
as long as you're aware of, those tools.
Right.
It's when you take the tools for granted or your own expertise for granted, saying like, oh, the AI is going to do my whole job. It's like, well, no, it's not going to do your whole job.
Yeah.
Or I don't need the AI. I've been an expert for so many years. Like, I feel like that's the ditch on both sides,
I completely agree. And I think the other thing I've heard is, relationships are going to be the thing that's going to matter in the future. And they have been in the past as well. So that I don't believe is going to change. But I do think AI is going to come into various industries like nursing. I think 98% of the radiology is now scanned and reviewed by AI before a human actually even gets a chance to look at it and they make a diagnosis and the human confirms it. Yeah. I think that same thing is going to apply to those areas like nursing, but you're still going to have humans, in the mix of it. But what I think, similar to like cell phones, if you go back, again, I'm dating myself, but you go back 30, 40 years, and there were cell phones around, but they were like these monster bricks, and there weren't any real jobs associated with them. Well, now, over that same time period, think of how many cell phones have come out and how many jobs have been created by them. Mm-hmm. I think the same thing's going to apply to AI, but you just have to be aware of what those opportunities are and make sure that you're positioning yourself to capitalize on them.